Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Code with Poonam. This is day 6 of 100 Days of Coding Challenge in JavaScript. Yesterday we worked upon summing of all the even numbers within a specified limit. And today we are shifting our focus for odd numbers. So if you see here, today's question is write a JavaScript function that calculates the sum of odd numbers in a given range. Okay, so let's move to our VS Code and let's start coding. So if we see here, we have here the question is mentioned, write a JavaScript function that calculates the sum of odd numbers in a given range. So now what we shall do it over here, let us break down this particular question. So if we see here, we have to write a JavaScript function. So let us write it down here. And then we have to calculate the sum of all odd numbers in a given range. So here it is not from 1 to any specified or anything. Whatever the range will be given, from that range we will have to calculate and we will have to find out the odd numbers, and then we will have to sum up and then we will have to print the output. So if you see the right side, the terminal is already open, so we will execute our code over here. Okay, now let us understand this. First of all, since we have to get the sum of odd numbers, so what we will do here is let us create a function that is sum odd numbers like this. Let us create it like this. Okay, so the function name will be sum odd numbers. Okay, now and we can write here sum odd numbers range, because it is going to be, let us add range as well because it will be in a given range. So sum odd numbers range, let us keep this function name like this. And now let us come here. Okay, now sum of all numbers in a given range means we will be given with what, the starting range and the ending range. So there will be some start point and there will be some end point as well. So because there is a range, right, so we will have to start from somewhere and we will have to end it somewhere. Let us assume if our start is 5, suppose, or 6, whatever we can take it. Let us assume our start is 5 and the end is at 20. So we will have to find out the odd numbers from this particular range, and then we will have to go where, then we will have to put that condition for checking the odd numbers. So what we will be doing it over here is, so we will have to take a loop again over here. Okay, so we will be taking a for loop and our I will start from our start point, and it will end where, it will end because within a specified limit, right? So it is going to end where, it will end at a end point. Okay, and then as usual we will have to increment it. Okay, so then after the loop is completed, what we will have to do inside the loop, now in the loop we will see and we will check that out how it is getting up printed in the terminal, in the console as well. Once we have written down the loop, what we are going to do now here, inside this loop we have to test the condition, right? Now how, what will be the condition will be coming here, that if our number, okay, what is the number right now, number will be what, I, correct? So our I modulus of, it should not be completely divisible by 2, right? So modulus of 2 not is equal to 0, correct? So if it is not is equal to 0, that means it is not completely divisible by 2, then it's an odd number. This again I have explained in the previous videos, so please go and watch my previous videos as well. In that you will get a in detail description about odd and even numbers. Okay, so if you see here, what we have to do, if we want to find out the odd numbers, okay, if we want to find out the odd numbers, what we will have to do, I modulus of 2 which is not is equal to 0, that will be our odd number. Okay, so first we have to find, we have to take a loop which will be running within that range, and inside that we are going to test this condition. Okay, so now let's move ahead. And now what we will do, we will create a function. Okay, and function name we are going to keep this itself, so we will write the function name this one. And as soon as you write the function, it is very necessary to invoke a function, so we will invoke this sum odd number range. Okay, and we have to mention our start point and end point. So let us assume that the start point and end point, we will be sending it from this function as an argument. So suppose our start point, we can declare a variable here itself, or we can directly pass it here itself. Okay, so let us assume, as we have taken 5 and 20, so let us take our start point will be 5 and our end point will be 20. So we are passing here from here as an argument, and we will receive it over here. So let us receive here as a start and an end. Okay, so 5 will be what, start, and our end will be what, 20. Okay, so we have successfully done this. And now if you want to just test our function is running perfectly or not, what we will do, we will write here start and we will write here end. And now if you come here, let us run our file. Okay, so we will write here node and we will write our file name, that is 06. And if you see here, I get 5 and 20, correct? So we are able to get here 5 and 20. Okay, now what is the next thing? Now let us comment it over here. Since we have to find out the odd numbers within a specified range, that is between 5 and 20, what we will do here now? We will take our for loop, right? So for loop, let I is equal to the start point. It will not start with 0, not start with 1. What is the specified range here? This is the start point, right? 5. So I will write here I is equal to start, and then it is going to end where? It is going to end at the end point, that is 20. So I will mention here I is less than or is equal to end. And we have to increment this, right? And now let us come here and just console our I. Let us see what we get. So we should get it from 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Okay, so now let us come here and just run it once again in our terminal. So we'll come here and we'll write here node 06, and if you see, we are getting from 5 to 20. So we have successfully executed our for loop correctly. Okay, that means within a specified range, now we are able to run this particular loop. Now what we will do, we are going to test this particular condition inside this, correct? So we will comment this out now, and we will come here and we will write what, if condition. And what we are going to do, I modulus of 2 not is equal to 0, you will write here. And then what we will write here, we just let us write console.log of I. Okay, what we will write here, we will just make it console.log of I. And now let us just test once again. So we will come here node 06, and if you all see here, we get the odd numbers here, right? 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. This is between 5 and 20. Okay, this is between 5 and 20. We are able to get the odd numbers. Now what we have to do now, what is the next thing? It is just not displaying the odd numbers, but we have to calculate the sum, right? We have to calculate the sum. So what we will do, we will come here and we will take one variable. So let us assume that variable as sum, and sum is equal to 0. It will be initialized with 0, because whenever you add up to this, it will be adding up with the 0. So it will not change our number. Okay, then what we will do now, let us comment here, and what we are going to do, we will do here sum is equal to sum plus I. So we will add up, and what we will do, whatever the value comes up, it will store it inside the sum itself. So how it will be 0 plus 5, correct? Then after that, 5 plus 7, in the next iteration it will come and it will give here in this if condition, what it will be, 5 plus 7, like this it will go and store the final value inside the sum. And once the loop terminates, I want this sum value, right? So I will print here console.log sum outside here. Okay, now once again let us clear the terminal, and once again let us write our node and 06. And if you see here, I get 96. That is addition is what? Addition is what? 96. So we are able to get it properly here. Now this can be written in another way as well. So let us see that as well. So what we will do here, we will what do sum, and what we have to write, plus is equal to I. Okay, this is similar to sum is equal to sum plus I. This is similar to what? Sum is equal to sum plus I. When you write sum plus is equal to I, it is nothing but you are adding this to a sum variable itself. Okay. So now if you save it once again and if you run it again, you will see you get 96 again over here. Got it? So that is what we are able to get it. Now let us once again invoke a function and let us change the range and see. So suppose we take a range from 8 to 15 if suppose we take, and let us come here and let us run it once again and test it. We are able to get 48. So that means it is successfully running this particular thing, right? Now what we will do, let us just improvise this one console.log statement. So what I will do, I will put this in a template syntax. Okay, template literals I will put it, and I'll write here the sum of all the odd numbers. Okay, we have here, right, the sum of all numbers in a given range. So let us take it. We can write it like this. And if you see here, we have written in a given range. Now, what is that range? So what I will write it, sum of all the numbers between, okay, I'll write between, and I'll write here what? Start, and I'll write here and end. Okay. So if you all see here, and now let us test it. What do we get it in the console? Let us see here, and we can put here colon as well. Okay, now let us see how do we get it in the console. So I'll write here node 06 challenge, and if you see, I am able to get, if you see, sum of all the odd numbers between 5 and 20 is 96, and sum of all odd numbers between 8 and 15 is 48. Correct? So we have successfully executed this, and we have successfully able to get all the sum of odd numbers within a given range. Okay, so you can define any range and you can execute this function. You will get a proper output over here. Okay, so if I have to wrap up this, what we have done here, we have created a function with this particular name because this name was being suggested from here itself, sum of all the odd numbers in a range. That is why we have taken this particular function name. And since they are saying a range, so we have specified the start and end point. Correct? And then what we are doing it, we have initialized a variable with a 0. Okay, so that whenever we add up, it will store up in this. And then we have run a for loop. The for loop starts from the start point and ends at the end point. We are incrementing it up, and then we are testing that whether it is an odd number or not. If it is an odd number, we will just add up to this particular sum variable. Correct? And then once the loop is terminated, we will print our sum over here. So we get here what? Sum of all the odd numbers between our start and the end, and we are printing our sum. And here we are just invoking the function of this with passing a specified range. That is the start point and the end point. Okay, got it? Yeah. So that's all for day 6 I have. I hope you found this challenge helpful and you have learned something new today as well. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and stay tuned for day 7 as well, where we will dive in with the next coding challenge. So see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.